All right, so in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the step-by-step blueprint that I use to become more attractive, build a masculine and aesthetic body, and actually get women to chase me. And a lot of the different things I'm gonna be discussing in today's video. This is what I help men do inside my program, the Inbound Attraction Blueprint. This is what I help men do even at a faster scale through one-to-one coaching. So the things I'm gonna be talking about in today's video have definitely got me results in terms of just making me more attractive and attracting women to me, having a more thriving and abundant dating life, but it's also helped so many men around the world as well. So if you start to implement the things that I talk about in today's video, I guarantee that you're gonna see more results when it comes to overall improving your looks and your dating life in terms of attracting women to you. The first thing that I did when it came to improving my looks, man, is that I focused on building up my physique. I was someone that used to be very skinny and had barely any meat to my bones. So I had to pack on lean muscle mass. And this definitely changed the game for me when it came to just being more attractive, because I was average when I was younger. And then as I started to get a little bit older into high school, I started to look a little bit better. But really what helped me transform my looks and how women started to view me, because by the time I got into high school, I had more that cute boy look, but girls weren't gravitating towards me like how they were to the athletes. So that's the thing. I wanted the treatment that the athletes got. And it was hard for me to even really get the girls that I really wanted. I really felt like at the time that a lot of the women that I wanted were out of reach. But it wasn't until that once I started to improve my physique, I started to pack on lean muscle mass. I got into the gym at the age of 16 and I started to do a weight training class where I was training 3 times a week. And that's really what started to help me become more attractive as far as starting to pack on a little bit of muscle, a little bit more newbie gains. But really it wasn't until I got out of high school and around December 2018, that's when I went on a lean bulk and I focused on packing on lean, proportionate muscle mass and size to me. And I was in a moderate calorie surplus every single day. I was tracking my lifts. I was focusing on getting strong in the gym, focusing on hitting PRs, being in a state of progressive overload as far as increasing the rep to my lifts and or increasing the weight by 2.5 to 5 pounds, constantly just focusing on getting as strong as I can, tracking my lifts. So that way I knew that I was progressing, and I was doing this consistently every time I worked out. And then of course I was tracking my calories. I was in a moderate calorie surplus. I was tracking my food every single day. And this was what allowed me to pack on lean, proportionate muscle mass and size to my frame. I tracked my weight once a week. I didn't do this every single day because your weight's going to fluctuate. So I tracked my weight once a week. I took progress pictures just to see visually how was I looking, was I making progress? And this literally changed the game for me. This really allowed me to have more of a masculine look to me. This is when I was able to start attracting more attractive women. I was able to start attracting more women that were into the gym, that were fit women, because those were the type of women that I wanted. And I saw by doing this that it was a lot easier for me to stand out in terms of competing with other men on social media, dating apps. And as I've gotten older, I'm 29. I just turned 29 on October 5th. As I've just stayed in shape, as I've continued to dial in my physique, my nutrition, and just stay active, I'm only going to be killing the game even more, because the older us men get, the more that men drop off. So if you can stay in shape as you continue to get older, you're just going to constantly stand out to women. You're going to be even more rare. You're going to look a lot more attractive, especially as you get older. You're going to look a lot more attractive because of who you're being compared to, which is going to be older men who have fallen off. So that was the first thing that I did to improve my looks, was by getting into the gym, but more specifically building a masculine aesthetic V-shaped physique. I'm talking the broad shoulders, wide back, slim waist, strong proportionate legs, being lean, and just packing on size and strength in proportionate and aesthetic ways, and just overall building a more powerful body. And then moving on to the second thing that I did was maximizing my facial aesthetics. So more so what I focused on doing was developing a skincare routine. So a daily and a nightly skincare routine. So having a daily facial cleanser that I use twice a day, one in the morning, one at night, using SPF to protect my skin from the sun. That way my skin can age more gracefully and slower. Using vitamin C to make my skin look more healthy, more vibrant, more youthful, hydrated. Using a moisturizer to moisturize my face, have a healthy glow to it. That way I can just make my skin look more clear, more youthful, more vibrant, and just overall more attractive. The other thing that I did was I focused on growing out a beard. So I used minoxidil to grow out the facial hair that you see in front of you. I naturally was able to grow chin hair and a mustache, but I wanted to grow a beard, and I used minoxidil on and off for 2 years. And I constantly had to do almost like a bulk and cut cut with minoxidil. What do I mean by this? I was applying minoxidil 2 times a day, one time in the morning, one time at night. As I applied minoxidil, I had to let my facial hair grow out, and then I had to really trim down my facial hair. And I had to do this on and off because I noticed that at first when I was using minoxidil, my facial hair was growing in patches. It wasn't connected. It wasn't full. It didn't look good. But I saw that over time as I trimmed down my facial hair, but continued to apply the minoxidil got into my hair follicles, got into my skin. It was able to revitalize my hair follicles. Then I was able to start growing facial hair that then became terminal hair, which is now the stubble beard that you see in front of you. The other thing that I did was I experimented with different hairstyles that worked best for my head shape and my face shape. For me, that's having longer curls at the top with a mid-drop phase. Those are the things that I did when it came to like my skin, when it came to my facial hair, when it came to my actual hair. And then of course, having a grooming routine. So constantly staying on top of my facial hair, constantly lining up my beard, making sure that it looks clean, trimming my nose hair so I don't have nose hair coming out of my nose, not having a unibrow or anything like that. So constantly staying on top of my eyebrows, as far as just making sure that whenever I go to the barber, I would just ask them like, hey bro, can you just clean up my eyebrows, clean up any like hairs in the middle, and just make it look masculine and clean. And that's what allowed me to have my eyebrows look good, look well groomed and maintained while still having that masculine look. And then I would also make sure that I'm just constantly staying on top of my haircuts. So I was always getting haircuts like 2 times a month minimum. Nowadays it's been almost like weekly. I'm due for one. I'm gonna get one tomorrow, but I always stay on top of my hair. I would always make sure that at the minimum I would get haircuts 2 times a month because bro, I'm half black. I'm black and white. Us brothers, man, we can't go too long without getting a cut or else we're just gonna look absolutely crazy. So I would always stay on top of my haircut and just make sure that my hair looked good. I would style my hair maybe not every single day, but like whenever I would go out and stuff, I would make sure I'm on point with my hairstyle and just overall making sure that I'm keeping up with my grooming and my skincare routine. And then another thing that helps me more specifically when it came to my jawline was chewing mastic gum, which mastic gum is almost like resistance training for your masseter muscles, which are your chewing muscles. And this allowed me to make my jawline more defined, make my jaw clench more prominent whenever I would clench down, as well as I've done a lot of neck and trap training over the years to really just frame my face better, to make my face look holistically attractive. I know the neck and the trap aren't directly a part of your actual face, but the way they frame it does make a difference. And I've done a lot of like neck curls, like weighted neck curls with a 25-pound plate, just laying on my back on a bench at the gym and just curling it in like this, just really isolating my neck. And I would just do a lot of dumbbell shoulder shrugs, 70 pounds of dumbbell shrugs, and I would do 4 sets of 15. And how I look at it is like your face is like your upper body, your neck and traps are like your lower body in terms of your legs. We've seen a lot of people who are very top heavy, but have very skinny, disproportionate legs. Your neck and traps can give off that same type of disproportionate look if you have a skinny neck and no traps, even if you have a good looking face. So definitely focus on building up your neck, building up your traps. You only need to do this like 1 time a week, and that's going to be more than enough. And you're going to see that's going to help you make your face more attractive. It's going to help you look just more masculine and dominant and just frame your face holistically overall. But overall, these are a lot of the things that I've done to really maximize my facial aesthetics, even growing out and keeping my chin hair a little bit longer at my chin because I have more of a recessed chin. It doesn't protrude that much. And this just helps make my face a little bit more attractive as far as just adding more angularity to my jawline, but making it look like I have even more forward growth by making my chin look like it's protruding more than it actually is because of the longer facial hair. And if you're someone that's watching this right now, maybe you feel like you're average looking, maybe you feel like you're being overlooked by women, maybe you're not as attractive facially or physically as far as your body as you would like to be, and you want to start to stand out. You want to be a lot more attractive. You want to be confident with the man that you see in the mirror, and you want to start attracting more women to you. That way you can have a more thriving and abundant dating life. Check out that free training that I made for you. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. And then moving on to the next point, man, is that I focused on upgrading my fashion and my style. And really, I took a lot of inspiration from different celebrities or influencers that I would see on Pinterest, on Instagram. And I would just try a lot of different things, man. I would just try a lot of different outfits, a lot of different clothes, a lot of different brands. And over time, come up with my own style based on what I liked, how I felt about myself when I wore certain outfits and pieces of clothing, the comfortability of the different pieces in clothing, and really the receptivity that I was getting from women, that I was getting from people in general, just men complimenting me like, bro, that shirt's dope. Where'd you get that? Those shoes are sick. Where'd you get those shoes? Compliments and feedback like that. And then over time, as I would get more feedback, I would start to reiterate my style. I like to more so wear neutral colors like black, white, and gray, but also I have warm undertones, meaning my veins are more bluish green. And based on your undertones, undertones of your skin and your vein color, there's going to be certain colors that are going to look best on you. And some of those colors are going to be like burgundy, wine red, off-white, colors like that. But over time, as I gotten older, I would really just start to develop more of a minimalistic, simplistic, yet masculine, mature, and sophisticated wardrobe and style. No crazy logos. I like to wear more slim fitted shirts like this Henley shirt that you can really see. It hugs my shoulders well, shows off my upper chest. It hugs my biceps. These are the type of clothing that I like to wear. Just more simple clothes that are well fitted, slim fit, that are just really good at accentuating my body, accentuating my upper body, my legs. I like to wear turtlenecks during the fall and winter. I like to wear leather jackets. I like to wear black bomber jackets. I like to wear black slim fit jeans, light wash jeans, indigo blue jeans. I really love Chelsea boots. Those are like my favorite type of shoes are Chelsea boots. I'll also wear low top, all white casual shoes during the fall, spring, and summer. But I really just like to wear more simple yet are high quality, that are very minimalistic, but they still allow me to stand out. And then from there, I'll focus on accessorizing. I'll wear gold rings. I'll wear gold bracelets. I have gold hoop earrings I wear right now. And gold really makes my skin stand out. This goes very well with my undertone, which I have warm undertones. Again, blue and greenish vein colors. There's many different undertones like cool undertones, neutral undertones, warm undertones. So I would research undertones, figure out what undertone that you have, and then search up specific colors that will go great with your specific undertone. And that's going to help you be even more attractive based on the type of outfits that you wear and the color of different garments that you wear as well. But I've also just focused on accessorizing myself as far as wearing the watches, bracelets, rings, chains, earrings, and just doing all these different micro steps to improve my looks and my overall physical presentation. This is how I've been able to become a lot more attractive over the years. There's a lot of different things that you can do to make yourself more naturally attractive if you have a step-by-step proven system that's going to allow you to get the results that you want. And this is stuff that I help a lot of men do. I've been helping men do this for years now at this point. And then from there, the way I've really been able to attract women to me, man, by and large, at a higher volume, consistent rate in a way that gives me leverage is by leveraging social media and dating apps. I know guys will feel way about social media and dating apps. Guys that aren't great at these things will cope and say that women aren't real or women are on social media and dating apps are trash and all this stuff. And really respectfully, that's really just a cope, because I know a lot of guys that they knew how to not only maximize their looks, their physique, their overall physical presentation, but if they knew how to present themselves on dating apps and social media as far as taking high quality photos, really telling a good story about yourself, giving women almost like the movie trailer to the movie that is you. I repeat, giving women a movie trailer in terms of your pictures, your photos, your vibe on social media and dating apps, which are like the movie trailers to the movie that is you. The movie will be like when she would meet up with you and get to know you and see who you are as a person. When men know how to do this successfully and then they start getting positive results, the same guys that would cope and say that women aren't real on social media, women aren't real on dating apps or whatever, these are going to be the same men that are going to be all about social media and dating apps. But I've leveraged social media and dating apps for years to attract women to me. Now, I've attracted a lot of women to me in person. I've met a lot of my girlfriends through a social group. I've met women while being out at bars, clubs, and lounges. But the thing is, I don't like to go to clubs anymore. I haven't gone to a club since probably summer 2022, but I haven't really like partied at a club since April 2021. I remember that specifically because that was the last time I really partied for one of my best friends' birthday. And I don't really like even going to bars on the weekends anymore like that, man. I don't like being around like rowdy ass drunk people and stuff like that, like super loud music. Like that's just not really my vibe like that anymore. So for me, I'm like, okay, what's going to allow me to meet the most women in the shortest period of time, but actually get in front of women that are attractive, but also available, that I don't need a cold approach. I don't need to try to convince her to like me or none of that bullshit, especially when I already know based on my experience that women are already going to be pre-sold on men that they find attractive and desirable. And they're going to more than likely have high interest and attraction for that man and make life easy for him. So if I know all this based on my experience, based on what I've helped my clients achieve, why not just operate for that? You know what I mean? Why not just prime my dating life to be focused on attracting women that are already pre-sold on me? They're attracted to me without me having a cold approach, go out to bars, clubs, run social game, all that shit. I found that dating apps and social media have been the best way to do that. I'm being promoted to women without having to be in all these different places to meet them. I can still live my life, run my business, coach clients, work out, do martial arts, live my life while still being able to have a thriving, abundant dating life and attracting women to me that are already pre-sold on me and they're already available. It's almost like if you've ever gone to Kings Island or Disney, or you've gone to like some amusement park and you get the fast lane pass and you get to cut people in front of the line and get on the ride faster. That's how like like dating apps and social media are. And really, just once you maximize the product of you as a man physically, your facial aesthetics, your physique aesthetics, and you know how to leverage social media and dating apps to stand out, especially if you're an attractive man, bro, these are going to be platforms that are going to be better for you, I would say, than like constantly trying to approach women in person and stuff like that. Not saying you can't do that, but you're going to have a lot more leverage and efficiency leveraging social media and dating apps. And don't be the man thinking that these things aren't real. Women on social media and dating apps aren't real, because I can't tell you how many women I've seen in person that I ran into in person or has seen me in person, but I've also matched with that same girl on dating apps where we follow each other on social media and they shot their shot at me on social media. So guys that cope and say women aren't real on social media or dating apps, they're just coping, unfortunately. But dating apps and social media has allowed me and my clients to generate a high volume of consistent dates with women and just overall having more thriving and abundant dating life. This is how I've really been able to get women to pursue me at a higher volume rate consistently. I've had women approach me in person. I've had women give me shooting signals. I met a lot of women while out in person, but that's also a lot of time, effort, and energy that you're having to expend meeting women in person like that. But if you're a man like myself that's busy, I run a business, I coach one-on-one clients, I do martial arts 3 to 4 times a week for Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu each. I work out, you know what I'm saying? I have a very busy life. I'm not going to be out here cold approaching women like that, especially when I don't have to. I'm not going to be going out to bars every weekend because that's not really my vibe anymore. So as you become more attractive, you become more of a desirable man, you should have systems in place that allow you to attract women to you while living your life. And if you want to learn more about how to not only become more of an attractive and desirable man, but have systems in place to constantly attract women to you, still have a thriving and abundant dating life, then again, check out that free training where I break down step-by-step, more in depth, things I didn't reveal in this video, but I go a lot deeper in that free training, the step-by-step process that I use to achieve this in my life, but also how I've helped so many other men achieve this, even guys that were below 6 foot plus height, guys that weren't rich, guys that lived at home, guys that weren't born with male model looks or anything like that. I've been able to help so many other men become more attractive and attract women to them. So again, if you want those same type of results, check out that free training that I made for you. It'll be linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. With that being said, I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.